Greetings from Tokyo, my dear friends. This is Daisuke, and I hope you are doing very, very well. I just want to give a quick shout out to my dear friend Luke at RazorWireReviews, because recently he and I had a very brief discussion about some of the films that are included in this set here called the Before Trilogy. And it got me a little bit excited about these films again. I'm a big fan of these films, the Before Trilogy. And so I don't have any time. There aren't enough hours in the day to do what all the things one wants to do. But if I were to have time, and hopefully I will have time very soon, I'd love to talk about these films, the Before Trilogy, one at a time. Yes, I would love to talk about these films. Maybe I'll try to make time one of these days. But anyway, thank you, Luke at RazorWireReviews, for your great enthusiasm and really keen insights into these films. In particular, Before Midnight, there was a little part that I think he and I were in a little bit of disagreement about, in a very friendly way, of course, but he helped me to see some aspects of that film that I think I had not seen before. It's still a magnificent, marvelous film, don't get me wrong. I think in many ways it could be the strongest film, but let me just hold off on any further comments until I manage to make a video, because each of these films has its own worth and merit, and they work in their own individual, unique ways, but they somehow come together. They come together in a very magical and seductive way, I would say, because of the sheer charm and charisma of the two leads, Celine and Jesse, played by Julie Delpy and Ethan Hawke, of course. So, one of these days, yes, perhaps I will make a video about each of these films. One of these days, yes. Yes, one of these days, will you let me, right? Let me sing you a waltz. Out of nowhere, out of my thoughts. So, anyway, thank you, Luke, and RazorWireReviews. As some of you may know, at the moment I'm going through the 2019 new releases that were made by the Criterion Collection. And so I'm slowly but surely, at a very snail's pace, going through the new releases. So I've talked about Mikey and Nikki. I've talked about 24 Frames. I'm supposed to be talking about 4 months, 3 weeks, and 2 days, the Christian Mungiu film. And I have all my notes and thoughts together. It's just a matter of getting that, just getting enough time. I should be doing that now, I suppose, but I'm a little bit tired, I'm afraid. I apologize for that, but I'll try to do that later this week. And I also watched this release, which is In the Heat of the Night, and I will be speaking about this particular release again in a upcoming video, so please keep a lookout for that. But I just want to bring your attention to the fact that this film is a very, very interesting film, an incredibly electrifying work, and at the heart of it, of course, being the central character dynamic between Rod Steiger's character and Sidney Poitier's character. Just when these two are on screen, you just can't take your eyes off them. And what are they going to do? It's just, there's tension, there is momentum, there is a real camaraderie that may or may not necessarily be friendly all the time, let me put it that way. But that adds to the central core of drama and dare I say it, truth that is at play here with this remarkable work, In the Heat of the Night. So I will be talking about this a little bit more in detail in a separate video. But what I want to just bring your attention to is I, for the first time, I saw some of these supplements, and this is a Blu-ray that's filled with great supplements. I must say that I'm so impressed with the supplements here. But I think I just want to say that one of the supplements on this disc is an interview with the actor Lee Grant, who appears in this film. Lee Grant, and it's an interview that was made, I think, very recently, and so she is talking about her career, and she is talking about her role in this film, and a little bit of background information with respect to the making of this film. But I think what struck me about the interview with Lee Grant that is included as a supplement here on the disc of In the Heat of the Night is just how powerful and very emotional I think this interview is. And I think it's due in large part to the fact that Lee Grant has a very, of course her career is so impressive with all of her great work, but it is also filled with a lot of complexity in terms of her role in certain aspects of U.S. Political history. And so what's so remarkable about this interview is just how passionate she is, how forthright her views are with respect to specific aspects of this U.S. political history. And it's really just a dynamite interview. I am so fortunate to have Criterion discs, and I'm so fortunate to be able to watch the supplement material or listen to the commentaries, and there's so many great commentary tracks and supplemental materials and the like, and who knows, maybe one day I'd like to do a little bit more of an overview, a deep dive or something on my favorite supplements over the years. But I must admit that I was so surprised at how emotionally affected I was after watching this interview by Lee Grant. And her remarks were just incredible, amazing. Just my eyes were opened, and some things that she was remarking upon were just I'm still trying to process them in my heart and in my mind. That's just how just amazing the interview was. So I was just so impressed with it. So if you have a chance to take a look at the Lee Grant interview that's included with this disc, I highly recommend that you do so, as well as the other supplements. They're amazing, and the work itself is just fantastic. So I'm looking forward to talking about this work in a future video. I'm going in order, but so I would strongly recommend that you get this, and as I said, I will be talking about the disc itself in a future video, and I hope you find the interview interesting if you have a chance to check it out, and I strongly suggest and recommend that you do. And the concept of this interview on the In the Heat of the Night Criterion release got me thinking about some of the great supplements that I've been very fortunate to come across with the Criterion collection releases. And of course, there are so many great supplements, so many. It's just hard to pick, I can think, for example, the Tony Raines commentary on A Brighter Summer Day, or Tony Raines commentary on any disc for that matter. There are so many. But at the moment, if I had to pick one supplement material from a Criterion release that I thought was just essential, superb, it's so hard to pick one. And again, this is not a top 10 list or anything, but this is just something that is preoccupying my thoughts at the moment, because as I said, I'm watching a lot of 60s and 70s Japanese cinema. And as part of that exploration and journey of mine, I am going through the works as best as I can of the director Kaneto Shindo. I don't know if you know of Kaneto Shindo, but his works are, oh boy, how to describe his works? They are just varied and so intense in a way that only a true artist could deliver. Only a true artist could deliver works of such intensity like Kaneto Shindo does. It's really amazing. But one of the works that he did is a film called Kenji Mizoguchi, The Life of a Film Director, from 1975. And that film actually appears as a supplement to the release of Ugetsu, Kenji Mizoguchi film Ugetsu, which itself is a sublime, haunting, immaculate, on some fronts quite terrifying and chilling, on other areas truly beautiful, magical, transcendental perhaps, film whose worth and merit and artistic sort of triumph, if you will, has no limit. It's just, I'm not sure if I can, I can't, I don't know if, even if I got the biggest thesaurus and I try to come up with as many descriptions and superlatives as I could, nothing could ever top the actual beauty and majesty and awe and chilling horror that accompanies this film, Ugetsu. It is just, if you haven't seen it, what are you waiting for? But with that in mind, I would say that the inclusion of Kaneto Shindo's Kenji Mizoguchi, The Life of a Film Director of 1975, is just a master stroke by the Criterion Collection. I'm so glad that they included it with this release. I hope it's available for those of you who are Criterion channel subscribers. If the Kaneto Shindo documentary is available, I would strongly urge you to check it out. If not, or if you have the physical media release, I strongly urge you to check out the documentary right now. It is one of the great Japanese films. It's not just a documentary, it's not just a making of, it is truly a landmark Japanese film during this period, the mid-1970s. And I think, please correct me if I'm wrong. If I am wrong about this fact, please, I apologize. But correct me if I'm wrong. But I do think that the film Kenji Mizoguchi, The Life of a Film Director from 1975, did it top the Kinema Junpo list, the best of list for 1975? I think it did. If not, please correct me. But it is, that's just one expression of how brilliant the film is. And so I would strongly urge you, if you have any interest in Kenji Mizoguchi, or if you have any interest in Japanese cinema, or if you have any interest in the works of Kaneto Shindo, to check out the documentary that is included as a supplement to Ugetsu, which is Kenji Mizoguchi, The Life of a Film Director from 1975. It is something that you will not regret. It is a great, great, great film. There are so many insights, and there are some pretty eye-opening moments, shall I say. And I don't want to say anything more because I want to leave as many surprises fresh for you as possible. But it's a good film, really, really good film. So please check it out. Maybe as a double feature with Ugetsu, although I'm not sure, maybe you should break it up. Maybe one day devoted to Ugetsu and another day devoted to Kenji Mizoguchi, who knows. But Kenji Mizoguchi, The Life of a Film Director, the documentary. But okay, so yes, and because my window is open, I think I hear some sirens outside. So I will end my video now, just urging you to check out the 2 supplements that I've mentioned respectively with respect to each of these releases. And maybe one of these days I will try to make a more in-depth video about other supplements on Criterion releases that I think might be worth checking out. If you're interested in that kind of video, please let me know. But as I say, I usually work at a very slow pace, and so I'm not sure if I can get that out very soon. But I'll certainly do my best. And if there is interest, please let me know. In the meantime, if you have any thoughts or comments about these supplements, if you've seen them, or alternatively, if there are any other Criterion supplements or any supplements in general from other releases that you think are just truly some of the best supplements that you've ever seen, then please let me know. I'm always keen on hearing your thoughts about certain supplemental materials that you'd recommend me watch or recommend others here watch. Some of this stuff is really great, and that's why I love DVDs and Blu-rays, because some of these supplements, right, they Laserdiscs, of course, as well, right, because you can get a lot of information, and sometimes you get some real nuggets of gold when you dig through these supplements, and they can become so fun to search around, and then from there they can become almost a starting point for your own further research into a particular film or a particular field of cinema. And so therefore I think just on the whole it's very exciting, very, very exciting. So if you have any supplements that you'd recommend to me, of course I am always all ears. So you can please leave a comment below, and I'd love to have a conversation with you. Okay, my friends, that's it. So let me end this video, and I hope all of you are doing very, very well. And until we meet again, please be happy and healthy and safe, and please keep on watching a lot of great, great, great movies. So, my dear friends, thank you very much for your time, and cheers.